Do have two more hot button issues that I do want to get your take on. Both Democrats and Republicans that I've talked to across the aisle believe that there is a crisis at the southern border right now. I'm curious, under a Burgum presidency, what would you do to fix it?
We're sending more troops, North Dakota National Guard, to help at the southern border. We've sent them in the past. We've got more that were scheduled to go this fall, but as part of this crisis that's going on, the border crisis, the fentanyl crisis, the humanitarian crisis, and this is specifically a role of the federal government. Part of the role of the federal government's got a limited set of things they're supposed to do. One of them is border security, and it's been completely abdicated by the Biden administration. And I've been down there myself. I've been down there with North Dakota troops. I know the first 30 days, our troops were down there 2 years ago. They apprehended 30,000 people in 30 days, 1,000 a day. And we're talking about only 120 people working in a 30-mile, in shifts in a 30-mile sector. The whole section was 90 miles long, and there was 60 of the 90 miles had nobody watching it. I'm like, where's the Border Patrol? Well, they're all back processing paper. So we have got to control the border. Legal immigration coming through the legal checkpoints is what we need to do, as opposed to unauthorized crossings, happening, on low water points on the Rio Grande all across that border. So we've got to secure the border. That's the number one. We can't have a discussion in this country about legal immigration until we solve the illegal immigration. I think once we solve and secure the border, and as a border state on the northern border, we have 18 border crossings with Canada and North Dakota. People from the northern border have been shoved down to do paperwork on the southern border. And so now the Biden administration has got locations on the northern border that are closed. So we've got truckers doing agricultural work with our most important trading partner, Canada, that can't cross. So they got to drive 80 miles in one direction, 80 miles back, because the border is either closed or it's closed at 5 p.m. every day because of staffing shortages. So the border issue on the southern issue is causing trade costs on the northern border. The cartels, the human trafficking and the drug trafficking. I don't know if you want to call them, war casualties, but when we're losing 110,000 people a year to overdoses and we're not stopping the flow of those drugs, it makes every state in the country becomes a border state, because those drugs are killing people all over every day. Hundreds of people dying from drugs that are coming illegally across that border. So it has that we have to solve that on day one. I'm not a guy, when I ran for governor 2 times, that I've made campaign promises, because I'm a business guy and that seems like a political thing to do. But I have said in the 2 weeks we've been campaigning that in the first 2 weeks in office, I will personally be at the southern border. And it took about 2 years to get down there. I know from being down there, the troops are demoralized. They don't have enough support and staff. They're retiring early. They're leaving to go to other professions. And the situation is, the morale situation is bad and getting worse. They need leadership, and we would provide that.
I think what's frustrating to a lot of Americans is there's a lot of talk about the southern border, but you don't see many solutions, especially bipartisan solutions. So when it comes to this issue, where do you see yourself working with Democrats?
Well, I think that we have to at least come to an agreement and understand the federal government has got a specific set of jobs that they have to do. And I would hope that Democrats and Republicans would understand that having a secure border is the right thing to do for our country. And whether it's the overdose deaths, whether it's the human trafficking, whether it's us pushing back against massive organized crime, these are huge businesses and all kinds of money in terms of that's being spent on the human trafficking side, that we would just have to agree that every American should agree that our country is better served with having a secure border, and that if legally, then why not just come through the legal channels that we have? We have places where people can enter our country. And so let's do that. And then let's have a discussion, bipartisan, about immigration. I know from working in the tech world, and I know from working in agriculture, that legal immigration got all kinds of red tape. We need legal immigration, seasonal agricultural workers that come to North Dakota to help us get our crop off. Those folks, have been running through all kinds of red tape. And some of these folks might be coming back for the last 20 years. They come and stay with the same family. They come and work. there's so much red tape. When I was working in the tech industry, there was talented people that wanted to come to the United States that couldn't get visas, and so they would end up in Canada, sometimes working for the same company in Canada, but into the United States. Wouldn't we want to have highly educated, highly skilled people that want to come to the United States to work for U.S. companies, be able to do that? So we put them through 2, 3, 4, 5 years of red tape, and then we let people illegally cross the southern border. So the two things juxtaposed against each other make no sense. We have to stop the illegal and then make sure that we're cutting the red tape on legal immigration to make sure that again, our nation was built on immigration. In North Dakota in 1900 in the city of Fargo, 80% of the people in Fargo, English was their second language. Germans, Norwegians, everybody that was coming to help populate the Great Plains. That's what built our country. We've got to get back to, being smart about how we do this. And it seems like some of it is just total common sense. And so we'd work with everybody to come up with solutions. But step one is we got to secure the border.